The Green Orcs had been waiting for this day. After years of tension and animosity, the Green and Blue Orcs had finally reached the breaking point, and now the two factions were engaged in a brutal civil war. The Green Orcs were defending their position on top of a defensive hill, knowing that if they lost this position, they would be at a severe disadvantage in the rest of the war. The Blue Orcs were secretly funded and armed by the Red King regime, who were trying to gain influence over the region. The Blue Orcs knew that if they could take the hill, they would be able to use it as a base of operations to launch attacks on the Green Orc settlements. The Blue Orcs advanced up the hill in a shield formation, their shields held tightly together to form an impenetrable wall, but the Green Orcs were ready for them. As the Blue Orcs drew closer, the Green Orcs sent wooden wagon machines rolling down the hill to smack into them or crush them. This area of the hill became known as the Death Zone due to the number of Blue Orcs who were crushed or impaled by the wooden machines. Despite the loss of life, the Blue Orcs refused to give up. They realized that they needed to flank around the side of the hill to gain a foothold on the Green Orc fortified position. They sent a small force to the side of the hill to distract the Green Orcs, while the majority of their forces began to move around the hill. The Green Orcs were quick to react, sending a small force to engage the flanking Blue Orcs while the rest of their forces stayed on the hill to defend their position. The battle became a brutal melee, with Orcs fighting hand to hand on the steep slopes of the hill. The Blue Orcs were gaining ground, slowly but surely, and the Green Orcs knew they needed to do something drastic to turn the tide of the battle. They sent a group of their most skilled warriors to infiltrate the Blue Orc camp and destroy their supplies and weapons. The Green Orc warriors were successful in their mission, and the Blue Orcs were left without the resources they needed to continue their attack. With their morale low and their supplies dwindling, the Blue Orcs were forced to retreat, leaving the Green Orcs in control of the hill. The battle had been won, but at a great cost. Both sides had suffered heavy losses, and the war between the Green and Blue Orcs would continue for many more years. But for now, the Green Orcs had the advantage, and they would use it to their fullest extent.